I would be my brother's keeper. I would learn the healer's art.
I would be starting to make the soup, and he'd come bouncing in and he'd say, "Oh, goody, you're making soup again," you know, and he always knew that I shared it with him, so he was happy with that. And he'd come in and sit down on the chair and talk to me for a while. And I'd say, "Oh, here you are, Bill, cluttering up my life again," and then we'd laugh.
For 8 years, Bill Render lived in a cramped basement apartment, down the hall from his only neighbor, Anita Meeks. She remembers Bill as a decent, thoughtful man.
Thank you for all the help in the past year. I truly think that you're a very kind and generous person. I wish there were more people like you, Nita. Yours sincerely, Bill Render. And we had always told him that he was our adopted brother, eh? So I think he was quite happy to be part of our family.
That you would reach out to someone when you know nobody cares and say to that person, "I need help."
Bill drove a cab for most of his life, but 2 years ago, severe bronchitis forced him to quit. With poor health and no job skills, Bill ended up on welfare.
And I said, "And I'll continue sharing my food with you so that way you don't have to put out a lot of money for groceries, you know." And we figured that if that was going to go on long term, we could live with that, eh?
Did we really know Bill? Did we know a lot of things about him?
Alone in this gloomy basement suite, Bill became more reclusive and slid into his own private hell. Here he worried that welfare cuts would take away the little he felt he had left.
He had low self-esteem, eh? And he said, "Well, you know," he said, "I've experienced so much rejection in my life that it's just not worth reaching out to try to get to know more people, you know." So he contented himself with staying home and watching TV a lot, eh? We knew that Bill was into dying because he always talked about it all the time. But
finally, 1 month short of his 51st birthday, Bill's lonely basement became a tomb. He surrendered to his darkness and took his own life. He left no note.
He'd think, well, if he was out of the way, then it would be less hassle for us, you know. And it was probably just a momentary thought, but that's all it would take, eh?
I have the feeling that Bill is here.
We feel like that no one else would do this for him, and we're in a position to be able to do it. And I think he will enjoy the fact that we made this effort on his behalf, because we really believe that the people who die come to their own funeral.
And this is how most of us see ourselves and our loved ones buried, in a place with a stone or a tablet where friends can come and visit and remember. But for people like Bill, who die alone, are on welfare, have no money and no friends, the government pays for their funeral and buries them in the indigent section of the cemetery, where they remain a weathered number on an unmarked grave.
I'm grateful that you could all come today to pay our last respects to William Michael Render.
Anita and her brother Collins felt Bill deserved a warmer send-off than the one the government provided, so they rounded up their own friends and family to come out.
There's something wrong with our society, and there's something wrong with our education system. It means our whole system of living is disintegrating, eh? Because back when I was growing up, people lived in small communities and they helped each other. And now, everybody's isolated, especially in cities.
The sad irony of Bill Render's story is that he accomplished in death what he felt he could never do in life.
Rest in peace.
Make more people care.
Yeah, I think he's here and he's enjoying it, you know. I mean, they're an old cab driver and he got a ride in a nice car, eh? You know?
I hope you can feel he's at peace.